roll.
All right.
Hey.
All right, Nolan, you got the mic.
Yeah.
No one's got the mic?
Are you guys all ready?
Nolan always has the
Let's
mic.
wait and see if people start joining.
Yeah.
He's always on.
Give him a welcome.
We need some intro music or something, right?
Who's not playing music?
Steven, can we maybe slow that fan down because Terry's hair is blowing around over here? Looks pretty uncomfortable. Or I still think if we got a Sharpie, we could give you a mohawk for
You
this.
could draw a hairline there.
We could draw it.
I mean,
you know,
I
you
look like
get the
you.
Bic pen
I
and
could
just
have
put all the
hair
little,
like you.
like me.
Hey, I know a guy.
Airbrush art, it's fine.
That's it.
That's right.
See, the Cannonball Run is definitely the one stop. You can get your hair plugs. You can get a green mohawk. You get to meet Stephen Miles. You get to have a nice cold drink.
Yeah.
Yes.
And worth mentioning, there's an orthodontist down there.
There is an orthodontist down there.
I'm gonna be seeing him later.
All right. No more wire brush.
Right.
It's good. I like it.
So what do we?
So let's talk about this. We're at the 8th annual Cannonball Run. We just had a small debate amongst friends when the first year was, and we've come to the conclusion that it was 2017.
Yep.
Yes.
17. So this is the 8th annual Cannonball Run, and the amount of money that this run has generated over the course of the years it's amazing. It's outstanding, and because of these three guys that I'm sitting with here, that is what has done what it has done and how it's done it. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys started this out as enthusiasts, boaters, gentlemen within the industry, and said, hey, we want to do something for people like-minded like us, and let's have a really cool, good poker run. And if I'm not wrong, Terry, that's where the Cannonball got its wheels moving.
That's absolutely right. We love to boat. We love these lakes. We have beautiful lakes here. Unfortunately, Mother Nature didn't work with us this week. So our lakes didn't turn out quite the way we wanted them to, and quite the way our customers expect them to be. We've had many, many, many repeat customers here, and we're unfortunately Mother Nature didn't play well with us. So yeah.
And to say something on the repeats, not only are the repeats here, and I see this every year that I come, the repeats are here, and the guys that you haven't seen in a year, and you go up and you put your arm around them, and you have a drink, and you talk about the boat or the new wheels on the trailer or whatever. But there's also, I feel, from the outside looking in, you guys live here, I don't, obviously, but I see as many new people every year. And this has become such a popular wow event, and I'll say it the way I explain it to people when I go different places. This is a real-time, real event put on by real people for the real reasons.
That's right.
And I truly feel that way.
Yeah.
And before we go any further, let me introduce to you who we're sitting with here. Mr. Jeff Hoefling, down here on my left to your right. Mr. Terry Martin right here to my left, and again, your right. And, of course, the man, the myth. He's a legend now, I think, right? Has he got legendary status? Mr. Stephen Miles of SMD, Stephen Miles Design. And these guys are the pillars of this run. And not to forget, and not to not mention, they're better halves. Because, Terry, you're not a very good-looking guy, so we're going to call Melanie the better half for obvious reasons.
Absolutely.
And, of course, Audra with Jeff and Heather with Stephen. And these are the folks, the everyday working folks that make this run happen. And, as we started to talk about, have built it into what it is and what it has become. And again, if you've ever been to this run, we don't need to explain to you what it is or what it does. You've seen it. It is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
It really is. And I say that sincerely. I've been very fortunate to go to a lot of different runs in a lot of places, meet a lot of people. And this run is the one that tugs at my heartstrings, at least for me.
Thank you.
And I really do feel that way. Unfortunately, as you said, at a poker run, if you're like me, you never get a good hand of cards. And we got the bad hand of cards with weather today.
Yeah.
The weather...
First time in 8 years.
First time in 8 years, ruled the roost and took a little wind out of our sails. No pun to the sailboaters, but it is what it is. So that's why we're doing what we're doing right now, because not only do we have to have these great people that have organized and put this together and made this, but there's a lot of people off of this table that are as important that make this happen.
Absolutely.
You know, and you guys can probably talk about that a little more. The sponsors, as well as the participants and the people that give in to help make this event. Let's talk about that, you guys. Tell me.
You want to talk about
Oh man, where to begin?
Don't be scared, Jeff.
No, I know.
Just a little black microphone.
I'm way better on emails than. Do I hold this thing?
Yep, you got to look at the camera too.
Is this
Yeah, you
on?
gotta-
This is on too. Yeah. Oh, good. You know, as important as what our participants are, as our sponsors are just as important. That's how we raise money. All of our participants, you know, they bring and they donate their hard-earned money for registrations, and you know, they travel from across the country. What we had. How many states this year?
22 states, I think.
22 states this year, which is pretty cool because we're in Kentucky, and these people are coming from all over the place, whether they're driving an hour and a half or they're driving for 2 days. Devin Wozencraft, he came from California, I believe, is where he's at. I mean, that says a lot. He's packing a boat all the way across the country just to kind of come see us. So
Bob Christie, wasn't Bob Christie here?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Christie, same thing with the West Coast.
Rhode Island, New York. We had
A lot of representation. Yeah. Chuck and Shannon.
You've never been to a poker run where Chuck Stark wasn't there.
It's true.
Right?
It's
Chuck
true.
Stark is at every poker run you go to.
It is very true.
It is. If Chuck Stark should be Chuck Poker Run Stark.
Yeah, he's already the next one.
Right.
It's not hard to go to a poker run when you have 18 or 19 boats at each one.
And a few different motorhomes.
Yeah. He's got at least one boat at every poker run in the country, so it's not that hard. He flies in, it's like, hey, I'm here, and then he flies back out. So, let's talk about some of the sponsors a little bit better than what I do. So, I'm going to turn it over to you a little bit.
Okay, just to name off our top sponsors. We have a very close friend of ours. We're actually sitting on his and Steven's houseboat at the moment.
Where is he? He should be out here.
Donnie.
I'm going to go get Donnie.
Go get Donnie.
We'll try to get Donnie, but Henry Fliegel Company in Evansville, Indiana, huge scrapyard industry. He does a lot of work for the Evansville, Indiana area. We also had another repeat sponsor that I wanted to name. That's Valor Oil out of Owensboro, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
They've been a repeat sponsor of ours for maybe since the very beginning.
Always behind the scenes.
Yeah,
He ever brings
he doesn't want to be there,
He's a
right?
charitable heart.
Yeah.
Known this guy for a few years, and he's
And then we had Paul Eisen out of Somerset, Kentucky. He's got a new cigarette and a cigarette dealership out of Kentucky and Tennessee. So they also just took on Glasstream, I think.
Yep, I heard that too.
So it was real nice to have them here. This is the first time they've been to our lakes, first time they've been to our poker run. And again, new cigarette manufacturer here and our first manufacturer sponsor, quite frankly. So very proud of that. We have a number of other sponsors on the list. I'll just go through them real quickly just to give them some airtime. But Extreme Electric out of Nashville, Tennessee. Josh and his team have sponsored this poker run since the very beginning. We've got Wells Orthodontics, who is also on this dock that we're on every weekend.
got his number.
Tony Wells does an amazing job with his organization. We've got Galbert Construction and Roofing, also out of Kentucky. We've got Austin Homes. Tom Austin is also on this dock. He's in the mobile home business, does a tremendous amount of work in this area. Royster's Machine Shop. Mike Royster is also on this dock.
The common thing, there's a lot of sponsors on this dock.
That is right.
Yeah,
That is right.
He said too, while we're talking about Mike.
Right.
Every year, it seems like almost last minute. Something comes up, somebody comes we're not expecting. It's usually somebody, what I would consider important. I know Burton Kirsten one year, but this year, Stu Jones from the Florida. Will you show me how?
You talk with your hands, so I'm going to help you.
Oh, okay. So sorry. Stu Jones stayed up there this year. Mike opened his home to Stu and Jackie Jones, to Burton and Yvette Kirsten a couple years ago, and he didn't just give them a place to stay. They got the royal treatment, man. They were treated like family all weekend, and Mike's a prime example of what this community is like. So.
And I want to add, just sitting here listening, you guys are mentioning all these local people that are sponsors, and they're local people sponsoring an event to help the local benefactors and charities that partake from this event. So it is absolutely amazing, and you said treated like family. I got to agree to disagree with that, because I don't think I've been in a gas station where I wasn't treated like family here. And that's the Kentucky style, and I sincerely say that. everywhere as you go. Oh, thanks for coming. We're so glad you're here. Oh, you're here for the Cannonball. Yeah. I was in the gas station buying a pack of chocolate wafer cookies for $1 and a Diet Pepsi. Oh, are you here for the poker run? Oh, thanks for coming. We appreciate you guys coming. Where'd you come from? New York. New York City? No, New York. But either way, it's the point. And you know, you guys, again, an amazing job, and kudos to all you folks as well as the sponsors. But keep going and tell us who else we got here. It's amazing. Yeah, let's introduce Donnie real quick while we got him here. This is who we know as the Don. Okay, we're sitting on the Don in Steven's boat, and you know, I had another thought, too, that it'd be nice to get Mercury Racing here one year. You got a Mercury Racing shirt on. I got a Mercury Racing. You got a hat. Jeff's got one on. Terry's got the koozie here. All we need to do is get Mercury Racing on the ballot and get them here with that truck one year. They'd probably ring the bell and set the record with their apparel up there.
They would have killed it this weekend.
They would have killed it on the long sleeve and the raincoats for sure. But, Donnie, we understand you got a little something to do with racing in the last few years, little offshore racing. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little about that?
Oh, boy. I'm Don McLeod, and I just got sucked into this group. It was not my choice, but they're just too fun not to hang out with. And got into the fast boats because of these guys, and now I follow SV Offshore. I can't be there at Lotto because they have Lotto the same week that we do our poker run in.
Which Leah has changed it to Father's Day weekend.
That's right.
So they can all come this year.
How about that?
And I cannot miss the poker run because Jeff, he's a real nice guy, and he takes care of me and at our job and everything. And if I piss Jeff off, things don't get done. So I'm here. That's all.
Great.
And right back to what he just said, goes right back into the whole family and everybody is welcome atmosphere that you get when you come to good old Kentucky. Don't let the banjo scare you, folks, because it's just a welcoming committee.
So let me name off a couple more sponsors. CNR Group General Contractors out of Nashville, Tennessee. We've got GBE Construction Group out of Evansville, Indiana. Mays Coating and Installation out of Henderson, Kentucky. We've got Heritage Trailers out of Benton, Illinois. WIA Marine Insurance out of Lake of the Ozarks. Rourke Trucking, Hoefling Tire, EMI Quality Plating Services, Expressway Chevrolet GMC and Ford. Kate Foppel Ford out of Henderson, Kentucky. Castaway Customs out of Lake of the Ozarks. Happy Chassis Auto Spa out of Hofstad, Indiana. And then Lively Machine. Donnie mentioned Lively Machine, Mr. Jeff Hoefling. We've got Stephen Miles Design, and my company is Legion Graphics.
And once again, real people, real working guys, taking their personalities, their assets, their workforce. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to Jeff and he's talking about the office manager or someone out in the shop doing something to prepare for the poker run to put this event on. And that's what makes it so real and what it is. It really is. It really is a very special event. And let's touch on this because I'm sure, you know, there's a lot of people wondering, you know, we've got poker hands to draw.
Right.
And for the people that have, right, let's give some money away. Let's make this happen, Captain. For the people that are still here, the participants that are still here, or maybe you left but your buddy's still here that rode with you, at 6 o'clock tonight, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to go to the tent up in the parking lot of Hoobies, and we're going to draw cards. So the money has stayed the same because all the money is there from registration. However, your chances have increased greatly because there's a lot of people that put the raincoat in the truck and got in the truck themselves and drove home. So if you're here, your percentages of winning the lottery tonight are way, way up. And then on top of that, we're going to have a little twist that we're not going to talk about now, but it's definitely going to be beneficial to those that want to draw cards. And if you come to that tent tonight at 6 o'clock, you're going to find out. And when we were sitting downstairs preparing for this, getting these guys' nerves calmed down a little bit, Steven went in the back and did his hair, and so did Terry. But Stu Jones from the Florida Powerboat Club, who's here this weekend, walks in, and he looked at us and he says, guys, you know, the weather sucks. Nobody loves it, but it is what it is, and we can't change it. We get mad about it. It doesn't change anything except make the rest of us more mad. He goes, I want to throw something in the pot. And I think Jeff has his eye on this. Stu Jones has donated a poker run of your choice with Florida Powerboat Club in the Top Gun that Stu and Florida Powerboat Run or Powerboat Club owns. So if you say, hey, I want to go to Key West and I want to do that poker run and I've never done it, and you bid on this tonight and you win it, not only are you going to Key West, but you're riding with the king of clubs down there, Florida Powerboat Club, to Key West, with Stu and Jackie Jones in the Top Gun. What an absolutely amazing donation.
And you don't have to bring your boat.
No.
You can just fly down.
Get on the Delta with the bag, get off the Delta with the bag, and have a good time. He told me that a long time ago, and that's exactly what it would be. And with Florida Powerboat Club, you might see a few girls in bikinis. You may get a picture or two from the helicopter because you're in that cigarette. But
Or you're going to be on video.
amazing. You're going to be on video, for sure.
Amazing.
Maybe not as much video as you've been in, but either way.
I thought that was deleted a long time ago.
So, I talked about, and I mentioned this, let's talk about some numbers because it's very, very important. And the first year I came here was a complete accident.
Yeah.
It was COVID 2020. The world was locked down, especially in the great state that I live in. You had to pretty much buy air to breathe. And not at Hubie's, that's for sure. And a couple friends of mine, Jeff and Jen, called us up and they said, hey, why don't you come visit us? So we jumped in the motorhome and we're driving down. The phone rings on the way and it's Jeff. And he says to me, not this Jeff, but another Jeff, says to me, hey, there's a poker run this weekend. You want to do it? Yeah, man, let's do it. Absolutely. So we jumped in Jeff and Jen's Baja. We did the poker run. We had a great time. And this waterway is set up a lot like Lake of the Ozarks. You can go anywhere as you want in a boat in 10 or 15 minutes. You want to drive a car? It's 6 hours to go anywhere.
That's right.
Right? It is absolutely crazy. So we did the poker run. We got back. We had dinner. We had a couple drinks. We're like, wow, we can't drive over there. So we convinced an 18-year-old girl in the campground. We gave her some money. It was Jeff's daughter. She drove us over here. We're standing in the parking lot. I got to meet Jeff. I got to meet Steven. I got to meet Terry and Donnie, and we got talking. And next thing I know, our good friend Justin Lucas grabs me by the hand, says, you got to go help these guys do this auction right now. I'm like,
and were you like standing on a table or something?
well,
You didn't even know we were
and-
doing
yeah,
on the back of a golf
golf
cart.
cart or Polaris Ranger or something. And I said, I don't know these people. I can't go do this. And they're like, no, you got to help him. You got to help him. You got to help him. So he drags me up there. Next thing you know, I'm in the back of the golf cart with Tyler, Jeremy's son, and we're auctioning things off. And it was amazing.
Amazing.
It was moving because I stood there and I looked out at the crowd. And you go to some of these, and you have your guys that are able to do this and have a good amount of expendable money. And you have other guys in this crowd that aren't in the same financial situation as some of these other guys. And they were waving their hands around like they just don't care. They just had them in the air, and they were bidding to win on anything they could get because of what this run does and where the money goes. So talk to me a little bit about what this run has generated over the last 8 years. And I don't think we have an exact number because we did this off the cuff today, but we have an approximate number. And Terry, Jeff, whoever it might be.
Let's give it to Jeff.
No. It's right. So I'm being forced to do this. It's okay. I believe we've donated a little over $750,000. It's closer to $800 this year. And it's just from the generosity of our participants and our sponsors. It's been amazing. 750 cents since
Not
inception.
including this year.
Not including this year.
Right.
Yeah,
So we're
that's
trying to break the
previous
mark
years.
this year.
We would love to. And with the help of no one, that's a possibility because we've got kind of a cool little auction thing that we're going to do. So stay tuned. I don't think we're going to talk about it quite yet.
Not yet.
It's going to be kind of an exciting thing that's going to make a lot more people be able to, participate. It's just been amazing what our participants and what our sponsors have given us that we've been able to give back to the community. I know the Sheriff's Ranch Boys and Girls Club, that's been a huge one. You can imagine some of these kids are not as benefited as some of the other kids. Quit telling me. No, I don't even know what to say. It's a little bit of a lower income area, and we've been able to donate some money to that kids camp. I think prior to 2 years ago, they did not have air conditioning, and we were able to provide air conditioning to this kids camp.
In the summer camp.
Yes, yeah.
And air conditioning might sound like a luxury, but in Kentucky, where the humidity is through the roof and so are the temperatures all the time, air conditioning is a necessity.
Absolutely. If you're a kid and you're wanting to go to camp, you're not wanting to go to camp when it's 110 degrees in a barracks. That is no fun.
You ever sleep in a 120-degree cabin with black flies and mosquitoes?
I hope not.
Right, me too.
So another one is the Lyon County Search and Rescue. I believe they bought a sonar eye, and they're the only search and rescue facility that has a sonar eye within 3 or 4 states.
That's right.
So
They loan
previously,
it out to other states.
they do loan it out to other states. So previously, if they had, unfortunately, if somebody drowns in this area, the only way that they had to recover a body was to be able to drag the lake, and it's just exactly what it says. It's more or less a fishing hook, and they're trying to bring a loved one back in a fishing net, and you can only imagine what that is. So now with this sonar eye, they're able to pinpoint a body. I believe they can search an area a mile radius, 186 feet deep, and they can cover that area in less than 5 minutes. So that was huge
technology.
for them. Amazing technology.
That was possible by the proceeds from this
Correct.
event.
If I'm not mistaken, they used to have a budget of $13,000.
Yes, that's what she said.
And you can only imagine, I believe that sonar eye was a little bit more than that, so they would have to spend their entire yearly budget if it wasn't for us being able to donate some of this money. So it's been exponential for them.
And let's talk about the drone.
Yeah.
The judge, or maybe Steve wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
The judge told me about the drone last night and how they used it in this last tornado that came through.
Yeah.
So the drone that you guys we got a red light on here. Is that bad? No. Okay. The drone that the Cannonball Run was able to help, the proceeds were able to help the sheriff's department buy.
Yep.
That they just used in, was it a tornado that you had here?
It was a week ago.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about that.
I don't know a lot about I know a little bit about drones. I love them. They're cool. That's what got me in the parking lot the other day. But Jeff has all the information on what that thing does and what they do with it.
Randy just showed me. We've got to get Randy at some point in time because Randy Wright, who is just a phenomenal individual. I think everybody down here would agree. Everybody knows Randy.
Yeah.
Even our participants, they're like, they see Randy walking through the parking lot, like, hey, Randy. And Randy's like, how did these people know me? It's like, Randy, you're hard to forget. He's just a rock star. He's a rock star. He is a great guy, man.
He kind of cooks a little bit, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He's just a really, really good guy. But he was able to bring a drone down, I guess it was yesterday or the day before. Now, the coolest thing that I've seen on that drone, it's a monster drone. It's not like just this average drone. And you know more about this drone than what I do, so we need to get you to talk about this drone. The coolest thing I've seen, he actually went over and he floated over a boat, and this drone not only has night vision and FLIR, and it has a loudspeaker, and he flew over a boat and he started playing the Cops theme song, Bad Boys, Bad Boys. It was, and these guys are going, what in the hell is going on? It was so cool. I was like, okay, I want one just because of that. But they were able to buy this drone just from the proceeds that we donated last year. Again, they're...
He said $18,000, I think, was
Yes.
in this thing.
Yes.
Like, again, it's a small community. The budgets are very small.
The-
For them to,
Yeah.
You bet.
and they got very small budgets, but they still got very big needs when the needs arise. So
And they cover a lot of waterway here.
they do. They do. And I also think they share their equipment, like you said, with other counties and stuff. Because surrounding counties with small budgets. So that's huge.
It sounded like their next move was to go to an underwater drone. Is their next purchase of?
I haven't heard that, but I could. I'm sure there's a need. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shoreline here.
So the main thing about this technology that we're helping them acquire is if there's trouble on the water,
Which nobody ever wants, but...
they can help the situation much faster today than they could in the past.
Right.
With
In
the
the
technology.
past, with the technology. In the past, we may be talking about days of some recovery or some rescue situation. Now, with this drone technology, they have infrared, so they can get heat maps and heat signatures with this equipment and go find folks that may be trapped in the dark, they may be underwater, what have you. So that's we can all benefit from this. I hope we don't.
Yeah.
But
Everybody
but
wants a rescue, not a
sometime
recovery.
sometime they may be able to do that. So anyway, it's very good for this community. Again, we're reinvesting in this community. They've invested so much in us to give us these great lakes, this great community, and we're trying to reinvest back into them. So.
And Hubies, where we are, our base station here is, I feel at least, and you guys can agree with me, Speed on the Water and how much they have done to promote this event, to help promote SMD over here. but truly one of the greatest. Trulio. That's going to be a new tequila that they're going to release soon. Trulio. But no, Speed on the Water, Matt and his team that's here actually filming this right now, they have done so much to spread the word and the good word and the good movement of the Cannonball. And I'll use the word priceless because it really is. I mean, they have done an amazing job. So Speed on the Water, we thank you for all that you've done and all that you continue to do. And we can't wait to see you on Stephen Miles' houseboat and Donnie's houseboat, whether it be horizontal or vertical, in the years to come. Something, if you guys don't mind, and I don't believe you do, something I wanted to mention just real quick. And you see that we have our bracelets here on some of our cups, and we have them on our wrist. We have to wear long sleeves today because the weather isn't cooperative, like we talked about. But live like live. I'm going to have a hard time talking about this, but I have a friend of mine back home, the Allen family. Their daughter Olivia had a diagnosis last June, and unfortunately passed his parch. And this girl was the little girl that everybody wanted, if I want to call her a little girl. She was 18, but a textbook. I mean, you couldn't have met a nicer, better child than this girl. She, right from the start, I've got pictures I'll share with you right now. You guys can see this while we're sitting here. I met her dad, Chuck, back in 2007 at a poker run that I put on, which was a poker run for charity, actually, for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And here she is. She's probably 2 or 3 years old there on the bow of his Nortec, helping him clean it. And Olivia was a girl that excelled in everything and anything she did. And she had an infectious response to people that you just could not be drawn to her. And even through her sickness, she actually was working with different children in the hospital and helping them and helping them get through what they were going through and helping their families. They're starting a foundation called Live Like Live, and you can use the hashtag Live Like Live, L-I-V, like L-I-V. Chuck wrote up something, and I honestly can't read it because I won't make it through it. I'm sorry, Chuck, but I just can't do that. She was an amazing girl, and her family's going to carry on the legacy, and Live Like Live Foundation is going to be to help support other families that are in the same situation that the Allens were when Olivia was sick. And if you have any desire or spare time, take a look at Live Like Live, Olivia Allen, and what she did. There's multiple YouTube videos. I actually shared one with Jeff. I think that they're going to share on the Kuttawa social media. It is amazing, and that is why I continue to do this. I've been very fortunate and met a lot of people through doing this and helped a lot of people just like you folks are here. And I always said that if I was ever the person in that position that was looking for some help, some assistance, a leg up, once somebody does that, like what you guys do with no skin in the game, but you do it because you want to do it and you spend your own time, your money, your resources to do it, I would be forever in debt. So what the Allens are doing to help other families cope with what they went through is amazing and has a direct reflection to what you guys are doing here at the Cannonball Run and continue to do. And something that isn't seen as much in the world as probably it should be, but with what you guys are doing, you make a difference. And the Allens are going to do the same thing with Live Like Live. Use that hashtag, guys and girls. Don't be scared. Check out those videos. They're awesome. It's a great thing, and she was a remarkable person. And my heart goes out to the Allen family for such a loss. And I commend you for doing what you're going to do in the future to help others. Guys, 6 o'clock. We're going to the tent. We're going to draw some cards. That's right, Terry. Right. We're going to give some stuff away. We're going to...
Don't let Cara bid against herself again.
Oh, no,
all right.
Cars
All right.
against each other.
All right.
I know when to stop and I know when Cara keeps going.
Donnie's wife, Cara, loves to bid against herself, and she is good at it, right? She's good at it. But
there's one other thing. We, Nolan keeps mentioning that there's 4 of us. There's actually 5 of us. Nolan is one of us because all of the money that we have raised we couldn't have raised a quarter of what we do without this gentleman right here. He's not only become one of our close and true friends. I enjoy talking to him. We talk throughout the winter, and if nobody knows, he's like the snowmobile guru, and it's really fun to talk to him in the wintertime and see some of his escapades and see where he goes snowmobiling. But he is so important to this run, and I consider him one of our best friends, and we can't wait to see him. We only get to see him about once a year because he lives in New York, but we all get excited whenever he comes down. We couldn't do it without him. So he is one of us.
We've mentioned it, I think, but it doesn't get mentioned enough. To everybody who came from all around,
Yes.
to this boat run, like, we have these sponsors, but our huge sponsor is our participants. And seeing those same faces every year, like, and a bunch of them are still here. A few people left, but hope to see you guys up there. You guys make sure, bring it to the tent.
And I just want to say, like I said earlier, we have many, many repeat customers who have come here, and they say they'll never miss this run. And, we had some first-timers this year that didn't get to run our boat. So that hurts me because we want them to enjoy these lakes. It's pretty cool. So please give us another chance, whether it be 5. That's all.
Terry's going into meteorology as soon as he retires here in a couple months, right? All right. Well, folks, we thank you for joining us at Kuttawa After the Storm, as we call this. And 6 p.m. tonight, we're going to be in the tent. We're going to draw some cards. We're going to give some stuff away. Jeff might do a wheelie or two on one of those. We've got some cool 3-wheelers. You wait till you see the 3-wheelers we got up there. Donnie's doing 1-wheel acrobatics. It's going to be like Barnum and Bailey to the second power. That's what I'm talking about right there. Let's deal some cards. Let's make it happen, Captain. Folks, thank you for coming out to the Cannonball. If you haven't come yet, make sure you come next time because you don't want to miss it. Nobody wants to be number 2. Coming to you from the biggest ball of them all, the Cannonball. Thank you, folks. Live like live.
Right.